David here, and the project for today is making salmon patties. I noticed that the food in my earthquake kit has expired, and I always keep salmon in there because I happen to like fish and it usually lasts a long time in the cans. So rather than throwing it away, I'm going to turn them into salmon burgers, also known as salmon patties. So this type of salmon requires a little more work because there's skin and bones in there, so you got to clean out the skin and bones. I suppose if you don't want to do that work, you can use the smaller cans of salmon, which usually don't have skin and bones in there. I think it would go much quicker. The recipe I'm using calls for adding tuna to it, but I don't like to do that. I just like to use salmon, and I don't even follow that recipe at all. I throw a bunch of other stuff in there, and I don't even go by the recipe. I just mix it up as I go along. So follow along and let's get to work. First thing you do is open the cans and drain the water out. By the way, these are 14 3/4 ounce cans of wild Alaska salmon. Usually work with one can at a time. I like to get there's usually a seam of salmon in there where the skin is, so separate it there and transfer the good salmon into the adjoining bowl, and I'm going to leave the skin first bowl. There's another seam in here where the bones are, so I peel that out. And the spine is a big part, so that usually comes off in bigger chunks. Get the spine out. Try to get as much of these small bones out as possible. See what it looks like. These small bones do break down in the cans. The moisture kind of breaks them down, so they're actually not that sharp if you eat them, but I like to get as many of the bones out as possible. I mean, it could be dangerous if you choke on a bone. That's why I'm not recommending that you do this at home. You want a salmon burger, go to a restaurant. Okay, this piece is a whole piece, and there shouldn't be any other bones in there. A few bones right there. And that's ready to transfer to the other bowl. I'll get a little skin off of there. Come back to these other pieces, get the skin off of there. Turn it over, get the bones out. This one's ready to transfer. Now this is the piece with the most skin. Yeah, I wonder if using a brush would get the skin off better. Been kind of using my fingernail. Well, you get the idea. Okay, I got the first can clean. I got the bone and the skin out of there. Next thing I'm going to do is take a russet potato like that. I'm going to clean it, pierce it, microwave it 5 minutes on the side, turn it over another 5 minutes to get it soft. I'm going to put that in as a filler without the skin. And you could put anything in as a filler. You could put in flour or cornmeal or cooked rice or something like that. But I put some type of filler in there. It kind of extends out the recipe. Got the second can clean. Let's put a little spice in there. A little bit of Tabasco. Nothing tastes good without Tabasco. Put a couple of small cloves of garlic in there. And make sure you don't put a piece of your finger in there either. Potatoes done cooking. What I like to do is slide it in half. Then I scoop out the potato, put it in with the fish right there. How's that? I don't put the skin in. I suppose you could put the skin in. Wouldn't hurt anything. I always eat skins. I don't throw these skins away. As soon as I scoop these this potato out of the skin, I just eat the skins. A lot of vitamins in there. It's very good for you. Next step is to take a fork and then mix it all up. I'm going to break up those chunks of potato and those chunks of salmon. Next, you add some ketchup. Just a goodly amount. And put in some mayo. Yeah, a goodly amount of mayo too. One thing you got to remember, if you're going to bake these or fry them, it doesn't matter how loose it is. But I like to cook these on the grill. So if you're going to cook it on the grill, you can't have it too loose. It's going to fall through the grate. So think about that. So you don't want it too runny. So mix this in real good. Step is to add some eggs. Most real people use real eggs. I've been using these fake eggs just to keep the old cholesterol down. And put in a goodly amount of that too. And if you ever find it's too thin, just add some flour to it. I like to add a little bit of cornmeal. I don't measure it, I just sprinkle it around. And if it's too dry, I'll just add a little more egg. I could even add water too, because I think I put enough egg in there. As you can see, adding the flour and the potato filler gave me a good amount of batter here, and I'll probably get about 7, 8, or 9 patties out of there, depending on how big you make them. I'm not going to form them now, I'm going to form them at the grill. But for the dinner I'm going to make tonight, I'm going to have, going to make some fried potatoes and cook that on the grill. So what I'm going to do is just slice these into fries. Then I'm going to oil them and cook them on the grill, and I'm not worried about them falling through the grill because I'm cooking with grill grates on the grill, and you never lose anything with those. But I'll show you those when we get to the grill. Got the grill warming up right now. Don't forget to oil these before you put them on the grill. Alright, temperature's up to 300 and climbing. Start forming the patties here. And this is what I meant by my grill grates. So if the patty was too loose, I got this thing here. This thing fits like in between the tines of the grill grates here. Lifts them out, so it makes it easy to do French fries on there, and vegetables, things like that. Gonna have to form the patty. Whoops, get back here, you. As I was saying, you're gonna have to form the patty for whatever size is suitable for you. Cooking time's gonna depend upon the heat and the distance from the heat. So normally in this application I cook them about anywhere between 6 to 8 minutes per side. This thing right here is my smoke generator. I only use that when I have cooking times that are longer than, say, 20 minutes, because it takes a while for that smoke flavor to get in there. Sometimes I make them a little bit smaller, so my wife likes to have a small one. If you do make a small one, put it on the periphery of the grill. Like put it on the front or the back so it doesn't cook too fast. Will they shrink when they're cooked? I don't know. Let's find out. It's been 8 minutes. Let's see how they look. Whoops, that one got destroyed. Darn it. Any way to save that thing? Patch it together. Give it the old patch job. Time to take these off the grill. Yeah, my patch job worked here. That's a fragile one. Potatoes usually get about 10 minutes to a side. Usually put it on 10 minutes, turn it, give it another 10 minutes. At that time, after 20 minutes, I have to determine whether it needs another 10 minutes. They rarely get longer than 30 minutes. Just depends on the heat and the size at which you cut the potatoes. Give the fries the first turn. While the potatoes are cooking, I think I'm going to make some tartar sauce, and I start off with some capers. Try to get capers out of there without the water. And the reason why I start with capers first is they're whole, and I like to mash them. So I mash them up. If you had the other stuff in here first, then it'd be hard to mash the caper because they'd be sliding all over the place. Kind of like playing whack-a-mole. In this case, it's whack-a-caper. Next thing is some dill pickle relish. I don't really do any measurements, I just throw stuff in. You know me. And the mayo. Of course, it's fat-free, so you don't get a heart attack. Is that enough? I don't know. How's that? Mix that up, and you're good to go. Okay, potatoes have been in for 20 minutes. And I think they're going to need some more time. Okay, everything's finished. Look at that. Burgers I don't finish are going to get frozen for a quick meal in the future. And for pairing, I suggest a pair of Henry Weinhard's Blue Boar beer. Yum. Thanks for watching. Consider hitting the like button. Consider subscribing, because you never know when you're going to need to repair a cello.